Hey guys, going to give you your math review lesson today from inside this virtual video game world. Now, I'm going to give a gigantic shout out to Mr. Charles Coomber, a teacher out in San Diego, for this. But for now, for today, I'm just going to stay in his apartment. I'm out on the balcony right now of the city, overlooking the city. Yeah, it's kind of nice in here in this video game. So, today we're going to talk about some types of angles. I'm trying to see if there's anybody outside. There's a lot of people just staying in these days. I don't think I can see anybody. Wait, is it? No, maybe no. Wait, yeah, there's somebody. Somebody's outside. One other person. That's a bird. So I'm going to stay in his apartment for today and teach you some math. I got a radio out here on the porch, but for now, let's go inside and I'm going to talk to you about some math. Okay? Now, I'm going to be writing on the sunroom windows here, so I got to get my markers and my eraser. I can't find my black marker anywhere. It's driving me crazy. I don't know. Okay. So today, we're going to talk about complementary angles, if you remember. Supplementary angles and vertical angles. All of which we know a little bit about. We're just going to change up our vocabulary a little bit today. So a lot of this should be a review. Okay? Now. Okay. And the black one. I need the black one. Can't find it. I see it. Unless I might have left it outside. Oh no, it's not like I can go to the store and get one. Alright, forget it. I'm just going to go for now. Okay. Complementary angles are angles whose sum is equal to 90 degrees. 90 degrees is a right angle, if you remember. So complementary angles are angles that add up to be 90 degrees. So I'm going to draw an acute angle right here, and I'll try to draw another acute angle to... Doesn't always have to be perfectly sideways like people think. So let's pretend this one's 30 degrees. 30 degrees. I get messy just like in class. So if we're going to talk about complementary angles, two angles whose sum equals 90 degrees, then we have to figure out if that one's 30, what's that one? If they both add up to 90, then we've got to take the 30 degrees that we know. The two of them have to equal 90 degrees, so this one over here must be 90 minus 30, 60 degrees. Okay? Complementary angles. Now, section that off for a minute, and let's talk about supplementary angles. Same idea. Supplementary angles are angles whose sum is equal to 180 degrees. If you remember, straight line's 180 degrees from class 2. So supplementary angles 180 degrees. Pretty much the same as complementary, but 180. Now, let's talk about vertical angles. Vertical angles. Two non-adjacent angles formed by a pair of intersecting lines. What that means. Vertical angles are identical. Get you a different color. So, if I draw two intersecting lines, the arrows on the ends mean the lines just keep going. Two intersecting lines. Two non-adjacent angles formed by a pair of intersecting lines. Sounds like some fancy vocabulary, but it's really not that complicated. So, non-adjacent. Non-adjacent, get my little yellow highlighter. Non-adjacent means they are not next to each other. If they are non-adjacent, they are not next to each other. Things that are adjacent are right next to each other. Non-adjacent are not next to each other. So, this green angle here and this green angle here are non-adjacent. They are not right next to each other. So, those two angles are vertical. Hang on. Got it. Okay. These two angles, the two green angles, are vertical angles, so they are identical. I got it. Little tick marks shows that they're equal if you remember that from class. Okay, now, where's my eraser? Hang on, switch hands, back up. Good. Okay. Where was I? Vertical angles. Okay, now those two are equal. I also have a vertical here, and here are two other vertical angles. Two tick marks is just going to show that those two are identical to each other as well. Okay? Vertical angles are identical. Identical. So, if, for instance, this one is 75 degrees, then the vertical one opposite would be, flip it. Whoop. If it's vertical to the other one, they're identical. That means this one is 75 degrees as well. Okay? So, use all this video to help you on the sheets for complementary. Okay, that's a problem with complementary angles, supplementary angles, and vertical angles. Alright? Let me know if you have any questions.